Dude, these are not the same goats. That we brought home a week ago. Look at these kids. Just chilling. Hey girls. No more screaming. Just happy goats.
The end of April and things are finally starting to get caught up around here, so I'll take you around and just give you some updates around the farm. Come with me. We are on day 10 of having our goats, and as you know from the last two videos, we had some really noisy goats. Quiet as can be, not hardly a peep out of them, just every once in a while a little meh when they see me. So what happened? What did we do? Well, the very first thing we did was we tried the radio. We put it on the classical station, they didn't like that. We put it on country, they seemed to like that a little bit better, but they were still bawling. And then, as I mentioned at the end of my video on milking, I ran out to the store and I got some homeopathy. I gave Evie 2 doses of the lachesis, which I believed fit her symptoms. I put it inside of a raisin and I gave her one at about 10 a.m. And then immediately afterwards, I would say within 30 minutes, she was probably crying about half as much. And you need to understand, this goat was like a car alarm going off 24 hours a day. 1 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, just nonstop screaming at the top of her head. And within about 30 minutes after giving her that lachesis inside of a raisin, she was about half volume, almost, and stopping for long periods of time. About, I would say 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I gave her a second dose. Haven't heard a peep out of her since. Now, in addition to that, we had started the Pat Colby minerals. They were on 3 days of minerals. At that point, it could be a combination of the both. It could be the minerals just finally kicked in. And it may just be that, that just so happened to be the moment that they decided to settle in. I don't think that's the case because that was pretty ironic, but I just wanted to pass that along to you guys. That does not mean that if you guys have an animal that is bawling that lachesis is going to work for you. There are a bunch of different remedies that suit separation anxiety, which is what I believe she had. A lot of people thought it might have been from her babies, but her babies were taken off of her 2 months ago. I could tell it was separation anxiety from us because every time we left, she started crying. And also there was jealousy with the baby and a few other things that indicated lachesis was the right remedy for her. I do believe that was what solved our issues, but we're going to keep an eye on it. I don't want to call this a success story yet, but I'll tell you, we're on day 3 of her being absolutely quiet. And only, like I said, once in a while calling out to us when she sees us. True sweetheart, both of them are. So glad we were able to fix this.
The plan is, at some point, hopefully not in the far distant future, to build another roof off of this area and make this area sort of a milking parlor, so that it'll be kind of an airlock / security area where we can separate a goat to work on it, whether milking or hoof trimming or whatever, but where the other goats can still see the goat we're working on, which would theoretically help with Azriel's little separation anxiety when we're milking Evie, so she can still see her. Maybe she won't cry as much. Plus it'll be covered and it'll get the milking stand out of my shed.
This is all that remains of my one service berry. Turns out that this is a pretty bad spot to put a plant because I drove through here when the sun was coming through the trees and ran it over with a lawnmower. Luckily I got two, and the other one is doing just fine. Here's the other service berry. It's doing pretty good. It's got some bite marks out of it. We'll have to see what's eating it. We've been spraying it down with some cayenne pepper and garlic to keep whatever is eating it off of it. We'll see if that works.
Our anti-aircraft, anti-air attack, hawk-proof wire deal is working really well. Have not had any issues since we started doing this 4 months ago. Nope, that wasn't a hawk. But they're all over the place here. There's a nest over right above the goats. So just got to do what you got to do to figure out how to adapt to the environment you're in and make sure you take care of your critters.
Mushroom log's doing pretty good. Probably won't see any signs of mushrooming until the fall, but we're trying to make sure that it stays moist and
What's funny?
Moist. We're trying to make sure that it stays moist. At least, I think 1 inch of rainfall a week, but we've been getting some torrential rain around here. So just trying to make sure that it stays wet, and so far so good. We'll keep an eye on it.
Compost pile? Composting?
Well, we got our garden cleaned out and amended. I still haven't shown you guys the soil sampling video yet. We're going to probably put that out next. We just wanted to get you this update out first before the end of the month. So everything's cleaned out, everything's amended. We put up some of our cattle panels to offer support to some of our plants. Tomatoes are planted, beans are planted, corn's planted, peppers. Peas are still doing all right. We got some potatoes in the ground and some onions in the ground. We're starting some flowers, and we're just gonna see if things grow. I mean, really, this is probably my weakest point is gardening, and it's actually something that really needs to be my strongest point, but I can't rush it. I really just need to learn from my mistakes, and that's just gonna take time and years of experience. So this is what we got going on with the garden. With this trellis here, I'm thinking of growing some gourds, or maybe even I'll put some cucumbers on there, we'll see. So that's it with the garden.
Here's the red raspberry plant she planted, I don't know, like a month ago. It's got berries on it already. I didn't think it would fruit this year. It's got some stuff happening. So cool.
Peas! So, turns out that our fence is too short and that I planted my peas too thick. Who called it? I know some of you guys called it. Some people said it would be alright, and some people said the fence was too short and the peas were too thick. You guys get the prize. It turns out that our peas are too thick, and we ended up having to prop them up with some strings. Yeah, I mean, it's a learning experience. We'll just see how it goes. Maybe we'll get peas this year, maybe we won't, but definitely next year we'll know to go with a higher cattle panel and to plant single rows. As far as our edible landscaping, we have added to it. We threw a couple tomato plants in there, threw some spinach in there, some, what else we do? Some ground cherries. You can see our beets are coming up, and our artichokes, and now it's just going to be a battle to see if we can keep the bugs off of them, keep them alive.
And all of the plants are now outside. No more grow lights. So I'm shutting these down.
Not exactly the best gardener.
Everything's green.
Well, sort of-ish.
It's coming out of the dirt. I think that's half the battle. Wild strawberries? Hey, sweet girl. What you doing? Alright. Looks like they're doing pretty good to me. What you got on your face? Goat faces. Little goat feet, little goat knees, big floppy ears, cute little nose, cute little horns, cute goat. She gets tall. So what do you think of the goat?
Adorable. So cute. I also think they're now better than dogs.
Better than dogs? Heck yeah, they're better than dogs. Aren't you? Can't drink dog milk. Hi. How do you hold your ears straight out in the air? You're just full of it, aren't you?
Oh, you're sitting on 2 eggs. Quick little update on Temmie. Temmie's still broody. She comes out every once in a while to get some water and some food. She's still doing all right. She's pretty healthy. When she doesn't come out on her own, we go in and take her. We are taking her eggs from her, and we are making sure that she gets out and gets some water and some food. I wanted to answer some questions when it came to Temmie. The first one was, a lot of people suggested, why don't you just give her eggs to hatch out? Well, right now we don't have the breed that we want to raise is Dorkings. We also want to raise some ducks, and we don't have those birds up and laying yet, so we didn't want to give her any. We didn't have any eggs to give her. Now, why didn't we order? Really? So why didn't we go and buy eggs and have them shipped? Well, shipping on eggs is around $45. And when you order eggs, you get about a 50-50 chance of roosters. And we don't have the room for 50 roosters right now. We don't have a plan for that until the fall. So it would be pretty irresponsible for us in our situation right now to just give her eggs to hatch out and to not have a plan for them. In particular, not have the space and to not be able to feed them. Oh, hi. Now, some of you guys also wanted to know, why didn't we just go with the obvious solution, which was give the new baby chicks to Temmie? Well, I've done a lot of research on this, and it can go either way. Either she can adopt them and it can be happy-go-lucky and she can be a great mom to them, or it can go very bad where she can end up killing the chicks. It requires monitoring. And the week that the chicks came, there was a lot of stuff going on. It was Easter week. I was working full-time at the store to cover for some people that were out. we were trying to finish up the fence, and the goats came that week. I ended up having to leave work in the middle of the day to come home to milk Evie on that first day. Just a lot of things. The garden needed planted right away. We were getting torrential rains. So much going on that I didn't have time to monitor that situation. And so that was not the best solution for us at that time. In the future, I think it might be a good idea, and if we do have a broody hen, to give her chicks if that situation arises again. But at that particular moment, it wasn't the right time. The other thing is that we are going to turn this into our broody house whenever we do start having our hens raise chickens. And right now the chickens are using this. We haven't built our second coop yet, so there was really no place to put her except in our basement, and that's going to be a bad idea. So again, it's not that we haven't thought these things through. We actually really have. It just wasn't the right time or place to do that. You're so sweet.
Maple stole the eggs.
You stole the eggs.
I was so
I'm getting her in there.
Hello.
Why are you in there? You're blocking the room. She's yelling at you. She says, get out of the way.
She's got a poopy foot. Okay, sorry, I'll go.
Right now we have two chickens that have a bit of diarrhea going on. I'm not sure if it's because they drank too much whey that I gave them, or if it's because of the heat index that's been happening lately, and they've just been over drinking, but it's something that we're going to keep an eye on and see if there's not some sort of coccidosis or something going on. Right now, she just smeared me with poop.
That's what happens when you hold a chicken upside down for too long.
Right now, they seem happy. They're not listless or anything. It's something that we're monitoring. If you guys have any suggestions or thoughts on that, let me know. I'm talking to you, Cynthia. Reach out to me. Oh, that's jelly toast. I was worried that was something bad.
Oh, the lid's flipped upside down.
You got jelly toast. I don't like jelly toast. Just a quick update on the little McNuggets. They're doing really well. They're feathering out. We haven't really had time to play with them as much with the goats being here. The goats kind of got priority, and these guys haven't been handled as much as I like. But they're doing pretty good. This, I believe, is our little boy, Dorking. The reason why I think he's a boy is because he has a lighter head. You can see the markings on his heads are a little lighter. But they're doing pretty good. They're pretty healthy so far. He's like, hey, put me down. And this is our Welsomer, and these are our two girl Dorkings, we think. She's much more friendly, the little Welsomer. They've been making a mess, as chickens do, filling up their water bucket here, their water with pine shavings. Cleaning it out every hour and a half, 2 hours. They're getting pretty Flappy Birdish, so we had to put this hardware cloth on top and we keep it shut when we're not here. And that's about it for April. We'll catch you in the next video when we talk about soil sampling and how we amended our garden. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. If you guys have any tips or tricks or comments, leave them down below. See ya.
Bye.
goats,